Ma'am, this is T. Kushi from ITA and my roll number is 37 and my topic for programming for problem solving using C for concept video is algorithm and properties of algorithm. So before going to know about algorithms and properties of algorithms, let us know about programming. Why is it important and what is programming first of all? So a programming language is a vocabulary and set of grammatical rules for instructing a computer or a computing device to perform specific tasks. The term programming language usually refers to a high-level languages such as BASIC, C, C++, COBOL, Java, Fortran, Ada, and Python. So generally programming is nothing but it is the set of instructions which are given to perform a specific task for a computer device or a computing device so that it can understand our high-level language and perform its task. So this is the programming definition. So now we are going to know what is C programming and why is it so very important. So C is a high level and a general purpose programming language that is ideal for developing firmware or portable applications. Originally intended for writing system software, C was developed at Bell Labs by Dennis Ritchie for the Unix operating system in the early 1970s. So generally C is a high level and a general purpose language, and it was first intendedly developed for writing system software. It was developed by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Labs for the Unix operating system in the late 1970s. Ranked among the most widely used languages, C has a compiler for most computer systems and has influenced many popular languages, notably C++. So generally C is a high-level language which is used to convert a high-level language into a low-level language. It is also a software. So with this help, with the help of this C programming language, we are able to do or perform tasks in the computer. So C has a compiler in it. So compiler is nothing but which converts the high-level language into a low-level language, and it converts line by line. And you will it can find if there are any errors, you will get line by line errors are shown with the help of this compiler. And with the help of C, further C++ was also developed. On the basis of C++ was also developed for in the next generations. C was developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972. It is a robust language. It is a low programming level language close to machine language. It is widely used in the software development field. It is a procedure and a structure-oriented language. It has the full support of various operating systems and hard platforms. So C was introduced or developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972, and it is a low programming language. So it was this programming language was very close to machine language. So before C programming language, all the computers or all the machines were developed or worked with the help of machine language or assembly language and all. So the C programming language was also very close to machine language, and it supports both procedure and structure oriented language, and it can be operated on various operating systems and even on hardware platforms. But generally C in these days is mainly used on software platforms for web developing or software developing field. At that side, many people are using the C language. And C language is the basic of all the programming languages. Based on C only, many other languages like C++ and all were Java, and then Python, all of these were developed. So C is the basic of all programming languages. And to know other all programming languages, first, if you read C, it is very easy to understand other programming languages as well. So it is considered as the basic of all programming languages. Many compilers are available for executing programs written in C. A compiler compiles a source file and generates an object file. A linker links all the object files together and creates one executable file which is highly portable. So this is how the process takes place. So now we'll come to our topic, that is what is an algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure which defines a set of instructions to be executed in a certain order to get the desired output. Algorithms are generally created independent or underlying languages. That is, an algorithm can be implemented in more than one programming language. So algorithm is nothing but it is step-by-step procedure how a program should run or how a program should flow. So to get a particular desired output, you have to follow these steps in the same order. So it is the order of steps or collection of steps which have to flow in the same order to get the desired output. This is nothing but algorithm, and it can be implemented in more than one programming languages. An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving any problem. So if there is an algorithm for a problem, it is very easy to understand. So it is just an outlet or a prototype for C code or for a problem solving. So it is just like a prototype, or it is just like an outlet, or it is like a blueprint of a program. So an algorithm steps should be finite. So generally an algorithm steps should be finite. It cannot be infinite. An algorithm should be written in simple English, and it is not a formal document. So whenever you're writing an algorithm, you have to make sure that it has finite number of steps, and it should be written in single language, a simple language. It must not be complicated, so that once if you look at the algorithm, you can easily understand the content of the program and write the program very easily. It should be like a prototype or a blueprint of the program which you are writing. So from the data structure point of view, following are some of the categories of algorithm or properties of algorithm, whatever you say. Search. Algorithm to search an item in a data structure. Sort. Algorithm to sort items in a certain order. You'll have insert, you'll have update, you'll have delete. So these are all some of the categories of algorithms. Update, as you all know, for updating a new item in it. Delete or deleting an existing item from it. Inserting means you have to include something to it. So these are some of the categories of algorithm, that is search, sort, insert, update, and delete. So coming to properties of an algorithm. So algorithm has its own properties. First is finiteness. An algorithm must terminate after a finite number of steps. That is, it should have only finite number of steps. It should not exceed its limit. Definiteness. Each step in an algorithm is unambiguous. That is, there should be no confusion. This means the action specified by the step cannot be interpreted in multiple ways and can be performed without any confusion. Algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. Each of its steps and their inputs or outputs should be clear and must lead to only one meaning. So definiteness means algorithm should be unambiguous. That means there should be no confusion while performing an algorithm. So one step should be interpreted only in one particular way. It cannot be interpreted in multiple ways, because when it is interpreted in multiple ways, the desired output is not obtained. So whatever inputs you are giving should be clear. Inputs or outputs, everything should be clear and unambiguous. Unambiguous means there should be no confusion in performing the algorithm. Algorithm should be interpreted only in a single way. It should not be interpreted in multiple ways. The next property is input. An algorithm should have 0 or more well-defined inputs. Algorithm should have 0 or more well-defined inputs. Coming to outputs, an algorithm should have 1 or more well-defined outputs and should match the desired output. Coming to feasibility, should be feasible with available sources. Effectiveness. It consists of basic instructions that are realizable. This means that the instructions can be performed by using the given inputs in a finite amount of time. Coming to independentness. An algorithm should have step-by-step directions which should be independent of any programming code. So these are some of the properties of algorithm, that are finiteness, definiteness, input, output, feasibility, effectiveness, and independentness. So let us see how to write an algorithm. There are no well-defined standards for writing algorithms. Rather, it is problem and resource dependent. Algorithms are never written to support a particular programming code. As we know that all programming languages share basic code constructs like loops, that is do, for, while, and flow control statements like if, else, etc. These common constructs can be used to write an algorithm. We write algorithms in a step-by-step manner, but it is not always the case. Algorithm writing is a process and is executed after the problem domain is well defined. That is, we should know the problem domain for which we are designing a solution. So algorithm doesn't have a particular method, but it should be a step-by-step procedure, and it should be understood. And mainly for we use these algorithms for loops like do loop, for loop, while loop, and for flow control statements like if statement, if else statement, else if ladder, etc. For all these, we can use algorithms. So let us see an example for algorithm. So here we are going to design an algorithm to add two numbers and display the result. So step one is start. So generally in algorithm, you'll have the starting point and ending point as stop. So step one is start. Step two is read values of A and B. Step three is C is equal to A plus B. Step four is you are displaying C, that is you are printing the value of C, and step five you are stopping the program. So this is one of the example of an algorithm. We will go into detailed examples in the next coming slides. So here we are going to design an algorithm to read a number and implement using a C program to check whether the given number is even or odd. So to check a given number is even or odd, we are going to write a algorithm, and we are going to even write the source code. So first we'll look at the algorithm. So first we're going to start the program. First step. Step two, we are going to read a number. That is, to give the input, we need a number. So we are going to read a number. Next, we are going to give the condition. Number percentile 2 is equal to 0, then even should be printed, or else odd should be printed. Display even if number percentile 2 is equal to 0. Otherwise, we are going to print odd. After all these conditions, you will print that value and it will come to an end stop. So this is the program. Hash include stdio.h. This is the header file, int main. So from int main only the function starts, the execution of function starts. So in the main function, you're going to write your code. So int n, here we are going to take we are taking a n variable which is of integer type, and we are scanf percentile d and n. So this is nothing but we are taking the input value and checking for the condition, that is n percentile 2 is equal to 0, print even or else print odd. And after that, at the end of the program, we are keeping return 0 because it is an int main function. So output is we have entered the value of n as 5. So 5 is odd number. So in output box, you can see that odd will be displayed, saying that the number you entered or the number you have given as input is an odd number. Design and develop a flowchart and algorithm to read a year as input and find whether it is a leap year or not. Implement a C program for the same and execute for all possible inputs with the appropriate messages, and also consider the end of the centuries. So here we are going to write an algorithm to check whether the given year is leap year or not. First, in the first step, we are going to start. Next, we are going to read the year. Check if year is divisible by 4 but not by 100. This is if condition. If this condition is satisfied, you will display leap year. And check if year is divisible by 400. So if this condition is satisfied, you will display leap year. So these are the conditions for displaying leap year. If all these conditions are failed, then you will display it as not a leap year. And then the final step is end, that is stop condition. So here you can see the program. Hash include stdio.h header file, main function, and main function. You're reading, you're reading year value, you're giving the input of the year value by using scanf, and you're checking the condition that year percentile 4 is equal to 0 and year percentile 100 should not be equal to 0, or year percentile 400 should be equal to 0. This is your if condition. So if this condition is satisfied, you're going to print leap year. If this condition is not satisfied, you'll come to the else block, and it is not a leap year will be printed. So here in the output, I am giving the value of the year as 2021. So 2021 is not a leap year. So it checks for the condition, and 2021 is not a leap year will be printed in your output box. So now let us know about types of algorithms. The first type is sequence algorithm. In sequence algorithm, all steps must be performed one after the other without skipping any step. So in the word itself, you can understand that sequence algorithm means it should follow a sequence. One after the other, the steps should take place, and it should be in a particular order only. For example, subtracting of two numbers, you can see the algorithm here. The first step is start. Second step is input A, B. Third step is perform C is equal to A minus B. Fourth step, display C, that is you are printing the value of C, and fifth step is stop. Next, selection algorithm. The next type of algorithm is selection algorithm. In selection algorithm, it performs steps based on the conditions. If the given condition is true, it executes one set of steps, and if the given condition is false, it executes another set of steps. So all conditional statements are selection algorithms. So in selection algorithms, if statement, if else statement, else if ladder, so these are all selection algorithm statements. If the given condition is true, one set of statements are executed, and if the given condition is false, another set of statements are executed. So let us see an example, an algorithm to find even or odd number. So first step is start. Next, second step is read the value A. Third step, here you are going to give the condition. If A percentile 2 is equal to 0, then it is going to display even, else it is going to display odd. And the fourth step is stop. And the other type of algorithm is iteration algorithm. All the steps in the group can be performed repeatedly until it meets to a stopping condition or true condition. All loops are the examples of iteration algorithm. So generally iteration means loops. So all these loops comes under iteration algorithm. So for loops, you will write algorithms based on iteration algorithms. So for example, let us see the examples. The first step is start. The second step is read A. The third step is while I is less than 6, print I plus plus. This is the looping variable, and the fourth step is stop. So this is the example of iteration algorithm. Thank you. I hope you understood the concept of algorithm and what is an algorithm. Thank you so much.